Hey, what's going on guys, my name's Raph, and Ash is currently in the Hyperclass ranking, working his way up to defeat Leon in the Pokémon World Coronation series. Due to the format of this tournament, some of the biggest questions going around at the moment is if Ash will win, and what will happen to his character after this. Whilst it's currently unknown what the outcome will be, I've come up with 5 possible options that could potentially define an outcome for which path Ash will choose, especially if this truly is Ash's final series. Will he win? Will he lose? Or will something else happen? Let's jump straight into it. Don't forget to leave this video a like to show support. I'll be sure to bring out the next video shortly. Make sure to subscribe if you're ready to keep up to date, and without further ado, let's begin. Let's start off by going over what the PWC is. The Pokémon World Championships, or known as the Pokémon World Coronation series in the dub, is a competition that is held to determine who the strongest trainer is in the world. The PWC first made its debut in episode 12 of Pokémon Journeys, where we saw Lance from the Kanto Elite Four take on the current undefeated champion of the world, Leon. The battle took place in the previous annual championship season, which also ended in that episode. The new season for this championship then began in episode 18, where we saw Ash take on his first PWC opponent being Viskys. In terms of the ranking system, there are 4 rankings which goes as follows. First time participants start in the normal class. This is regardless of any previous championships or statuses that they have. The normal class is represented by a normal Pokeball. Upon elevating from a rank of 999 to 100, trainers then progress into the super class, which is represented by a Great Ball. Trainers who are between 99th and the 9th place are then advanced into the Hyper class. Unlike the previous classes, Hyperclass battles are pre-scheduled, consisting of 3-on-3 battles, with each participant's opponent being decided for them. These battles are usually broadcasted worldwide, and have commentators apart from the Rotom drums who normally evaluate the battle. The final class is the Master class, which consists of 8 trainers who are at the top of the world ranking. These are also known as the Masters 8, who are certified by the Pokémon Battle Commission. They battle each other at the end of the season in a tournament where the winner becomes the world champion Monarch, and the person with this title at the moment is Leon, who is ranked number 1. At the current time of this video, Ash is ranked 64 in the Hyperclass, who is set to battle B. We don't know if he'll win or lose this battle, however from what we can expect, he is most likely going to win. With sources stating that Ash is set to battle Cynthia in the Masters 8, it could be that he wins and then elevates to the Master class after a few more battles. There's also the possibility that he loses and has to work his way up again, but we'll elaborate on that later. Now let's discuss the possible outcomes, considering whether or not Ash will win or lose the PWC. Before I begin, the outcomes are expressed based on my own opinions. The first outcome is that Ash will win the PWC, but then either give up or keep the title to continue his journey. With the way Ash has been shown in episodes and how the director mentioned that he is slowly becoming more unbeatable over the course of the series, it makes you think if he actually will win and defeat Leon. The current Pokemon team he has shows capability of Mega Evolution, Z moves, and the Dynamax and Gigantamax mechanics. Knowing that Ash is capable of using all of these mechanics, it's unknown if all 3 can be used in a single match. However, if that is the case, then this gives Ash a massive advantage due to his battle versatility. And who's to say that he can't bring back existing Pokemon to form the ultimate team to take on Leon? Now in terms of giving up the title, I reckon we may see something similar in the context of AG's Battle Frontier. After Ash defeated Brandon, he was offered the title to become a Frontier Brain. Ash declined this offer to continue his journey, and reach further heights in order to reach his desired stage of becoming a Pokemon Master. Now even though becoming a World Champion is much more superior than becoming a Frontier Brain, this is where I believe maybe a similar aspect will come into play from the Pokemon Sword and Shield games, in which Ash may not necessarily give up the title, but still continue his journey. After the player defeats Leon, they become the new champion. In relation to the Darkest Day, Leon becomes the new chairman of the Galar League, and gains ownership of the Rose Tower, transforming it into the Battle Tower. The reason for this was to fulfill a lifelong dream he had while he was a champion, where Galarian trainers will become the strongest in the world. So should the final narrative of Pokémon Journeys follow a similar plot to Pokémon Sword and Shield, maybe this will then act as a separate path for Leon, allowing Ash to maintain the title and still continue his journey. It wouldn't make sense for him to give the champion title up and then back to Leon, as Leon just lost him. On top of that, becoming the new world champion could be one of the elements that will allow Ash to achieve his overall goal of becoming a Pokemon Master. Just because he defeated the world champion and is an existing champion himself, doesn't mean he is a Pokemon Master instantly. There are so many theories that define what a Pokemon Master is. Some say that when someone becomes a Pokemon champion, they're a Master. I personally don't think this is correct, because while we know that Ash is the champion of Alola, he still loses and undergoes development. This is what drives his character to become better and eventually reach that Master stage. He still considers himself someone in training to become a Pokemon Master, despite him being a champion. It's quite a complex scenario. Should Ash beat Leon and continue his journey, this would of course coincide with the next generation of Pokemon, being Generation 9, and there could also be some possible tie-ins to Legends Arceus, but that's another video for another day. Now I know some of you would say, but what could possibly top Ash being the world champion? Well, we don't know. The Pokemon anime sure do love to maintain Ash for many years despite being 10, showcasing his continual improvement, so I'm sure there's something else that could come up in due course, but if not, then that's where outcome 2 comes into play. The second outcome is that Ash will defeat Leon, win the PWC, and then conclude his journey. Now if we go against outcome number 1, this could be where Ash finally concludes his journey after over 20 years, obtaining the strongest title to exist. Maybe it will truly define him as a Pokemon master. Going back to Ash's Pokemon as well, he now has the aspect of Mega Evolution by his side, a mechanic that fans have been waiting for almost a decade. With the combination of this, Z-moves and Gigantamax, maybe Ash will defeat Leon after all. Ash is really being set up to have a lot of elements after years of desires, and it may indicate that this is the final send-off. It could potentially be time for a new protagonist to take over the show, or maybe yet, a new spin-off series will emerge in replacement. We do know that the 25th anniversary of the anime is next year, and with the return of companions, desired Pokemon captures, and overall persona of Ash's character and structure of the PWC up to this point, this may well be the end of his journey, especially if he becomes a world champion. Some would suspect that Go will be the next face to take over due to how his character has been set up with his dual main protagonist role. Others think that he may just leave as well, and that's the end of the Pokemon anime. The PWC could follow suit with Legends Arceus and conclude maybe in 2023, to coincide with the release of the potential Generation 9. Even though we could highly expect Ash to continue his journey to that said region, maybe due to the whole 25th anniversary aspect, this could counter that, and we may get a completely different series with a new protagonist. The third outcome is that Ash will lose against Leon, and then go back to take him on in the future. So let's say that the PWC turns out to be the biggest competition that only exists, and nothing else can top that. Well, in sight of Ash, maybe he'll lose, go away to progress and get better, and then maybe come back in a later season. Like we mentioned before, it would be pretty crazy if some other competition was created to top the World Champion title. So in a logical way, Ash would essentially be in training to return to defeat Leon, which would then either result into outcome 1 or outcome 2. He could maybe complete the gym challenge to follow the usual suit of the anime, minus Charles and Alola of course, and then return to take Leon on again after gaining more experience. This would then grant Ash a longer journey to then coincide with the length of the PWC journey, maybe then concluding in 2023, to once again coincide with the potential Generation 9. Some would then say Ash would just become the new number 2 replacing Lance, but for what we know, if the anime wants to expand Ash's journey, then they may set him up on another path, allowing him to then come back later on to earn the World Champion title, unless if they do something completely different, which leads to outcome number 4. Ash will lose then continue his journey. Now I know this one is a bit bizarre, but hear me out. Let's go back to the AG Battle Frontier segment, and let's say Ash loses and then becomes second. He could then potentially seek a new challenge again to coincide with his dream of becoming a Pokemon Master. However, once again, this reverts back to the previous issue, with the question being what could possibly top the PWC, the biggest competition that allows trainers from all over the world to compete to become the strongest. It would be a very odd approach for then some standard tournament to take over, or for Ash to then just compete in a completely different league. I mean, if he does compete in another league, then that should surely give him some more experience and knowledge, that he can then go back to take on Leon in hope of winning. It's a very odd approach, but I'm sure you can understand the narratives of previous seasons that make this a potential option. The final outcome is that the battle between Ash and Leon will end in a draw. Over the course of the series, we've learned how fond both trainers are of each other. They respect each other highly, and have built up a good friendship in preparation for their final battle, whilst maintaining a good rivalry. Now I know this is going to bring more questions to the table on what the outcome will eventually be, but should the battle end in a draw, then I either suspect that the series will end, seeing as Ash reached a different level to even draw against Leon than lose, or a rematch will happen again for then a different outcome to arise. It's really hard to articulate the possibilities should a draw happen, because we can't anticipate what the outcome will be afterwards. But the fact that a draw could even happen in the first place is quite exciting, and it also brings new possibilities to the table. If a draw did happen, then I would either assume Gigantamax Pikachu and Gigantamax Charizard have a final clash, or even in their basic forms. Who knows what could happen. So what do I believe will happen? Well, from what my gut tells me, I either think Ash will win and continue his journey, or end off his time in the Pokemon anime. The formula of the Pokemon anime has shown Ash to beat strong trainers and obtain some incredible titles. Defeating Leon could actually mark his time coming to an end in the anime after becoming a world monarch, and maybe the writers will have a completely different challenge in line for him should he win and continue his journey. But that's up to them to surprise us. I've left a tweet in the description with other people's opinions stating on this matter, so feel free to check it out. I would love to give a massive shout out to my friend Lukas for the amazing art concept of what Ash would look like should he win. Please support his art and commission him. So, is this the end of Ash's journey, or the beginning of a new era? Only time will tell. But why not let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys would like to interact with me, then be sure to follow me on Twitter, and join the Team PokeRef Discord server to discuss all things Pokemon. You can find the rest of my social networks on screen, and in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave it a like, as your support is greatly appreciated. Don't forget to share the video with your friends. Finally, make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with my videos, and click on the little bell to enable notifications, so you guys get notified when I upload a new video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to stick around for more Pokemon content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.